So we continue to read from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, chapter 1, text 91. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Continuing to read from the purport, Bhagavad Dharma, or the religious principle described in Srimad Bhagavatam, of which the Bhagavad Gita is a preliminary study, is meant for liberated persons of the highest order who attribute very little value to the sense gratification of pretentious religiosity. So we have been hearing that Srimad Bhagavatam completely rejects the Kaitava Dharma. What is the Kaitava Dharma? The Karma Kanda section of the Vedas, which is packaged as religion, but it is only sense gratification. That you do pious activities, you go to Swargalok, you enjoy, but still we will be in the material world. Also, it rejects the Gyan Kanda section, that you gain knowledge, you differentiate between matter and spirit, then you go sit in the Brahma Jyoti, but from there again we will come down. So it completely rejects that. And it also rejects the yoga, that mystic yoga. Through yoga you can get so much mystic powers. With that you will make your body comfortable, but still we'll be in the material world, still not realize our true position. So Srimad Bhagavatam completely rejects it. And then what is said, that Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study. So first when you graduate, that's Bhagavad Gita. Then Srimad Bhagavatam is masters. Then Chaitanya Charitamrita is PhD, like that, So as we go deeper in the Bhakti Shastras, there is sweeter and sweeter, more and more information of the activities of the soul. So the first and foremost concern of fruitive workers, elevationists, empiric philosophers, and salvationists is to raise their material position. But devotees of Godhead have no selfish desires. They serve the Supreme Lord only for his satisfaction. So fruitive worker means I'm going to work because I'm going to get some result with that and I will be happy with it. That is fruitive worker. That majority of the people are there. We are all saying, I'm going to do this work and I'll gain something from this and that will be happy. Then elevationists and empiric philosophers, salvationists, these are people who are trying to understand the philosophy. What is the philosophy? What is there? But what is the ultimate goal of everyone? How do I get materially more comfortable? I'm suffering right now. How do I get comfortable? But what's a pure devotee's desire? A pure devotee's desire is that I just want to serve the Lord. Why? So that he is pleased. For the satisfaction of the Lord. This is actually the true position of the soul. We have that. It's only right now we are saying, oh, I want to work for my own self. Each soul actually works only for the satisfaction of Krishna. And then in that way, experiences the highest bliss, highest love, because it's coming from a position of love. Service is a symptom of love. A mother, when the child is born, she out of love, she wakes up in the middle of the night, she's serving the child, it's out of love, nothing else. So the soul, the connection with Krishna is out of pure love, and that's the most beautiful emotion that we can experience. In this material world, there is no experience of this pure love. All what we are experiencing is lust. Each of us is trying to fulfill our own desires. And Prabhupada would say the only slight resemblance of love that we can see in this material world is that a mother has for the child. That's just a slight resemblance of love. Otherwise, we are just seeing his lust. Sri Arjuna wanting to satisfy his senses. by becoming a so-called non-violent and pious man, at first decided not to fight, but when he was fully situated in the principles of Bhagavad Dharma, culminating in complete surrender unto the will of the Supreme Lord, he changed his decision and agreed to fight for the satisfaction of the Lord. So in Bhagavad Gita, why Bhagavad Gita was spoken? Because Arjuna says, I'm not going to fight. I don't want to fight. And then Krishna gives him the knowledge. And after Arjuna hears the knowledge, what does he do? He says, Krishna, I surrender unto you. I will do what you want me to do. I follow your instruction. And then he fought. He fought the battle. He won the kingdom. And he became famous. Till today, we are speaking about him. So even if we follow the instructions of Krishna as given to us in Bhagavad Gita, our life will be successful. You know, Nashto moha smritir labdha tvat prasadan mayachyuta sthito asmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt and prepared to act according to your instructions. Bhagavad Gita 18.73. It is a constitutional position of the living entity to be situated in this pure consciousness. Any so-called religious process that interferes with this unadulterated spiritual position of the living being must therefore be considered a pretentious process of religiosity. So what is our true position? Our true position is our pure consciousness is what? That we are following the instructions of Krishna for his pleasure. And then Arjuna is saying this in Bhagavad Gita 73. After he heard the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, he says, my dear Krishna, oh infallible one, means Krishna never fails. Krishna never falls down. We are fallible. We fall down, we commit mistakes, we fail. Krishna never. And after getting this perfect knowledge from Krishna, Arjuna says, he has also gotten this perfect knowledge. And because he has this perfect knowledge, his doubts are cleared and he is willing to act for the pleasure of Krishna. That is the real position of the soul. And so there are so many religious processes which are trying to take us away from this platform. And that's the reason they are called pretentious religions. They're pretending to be religion, but they are not, because religion means to love God. That is religion. The real form of religion is spontaneous loving service to God. This relationship of the living being with the absolute personality of Godhead in service is eternal. The personality of Godhead is described as Vastu, or the substance. And the living entities are described as Vastavas, or the innumerable samples of the substance in relative existence. Let's read this again. The personality of Godhead is described as Vastu, or the substance. And the living entities are described as Vastavas, or the innumerable samples of the substance in relative existence. We exist because Krishna exists. We are part and parcel of Krishna. He's the Supreme Lord. We are his parts. The relationship of these substantive portions with the Supreme Substance can never be annihilated, for it is an eternal quality inherent in the living being. Krishna is eternal, we are eternal. Krishna is eternally unlimited. We are eternally parts and parcels of Krishna. By contact with material nature, the living entities exhibit varied symptoms of the disease of material consciousness. To cure this material disease is the supreme object of human life. So right now we are thinking that I am independent. Who is to tell me what to do? I will do whatever I like. I have this desire, I will do it. I am the controller, I am the enjoyer, I am the owner. This is our material disease. Now, to what is the object of human life? Is to cure this disease. Why? Because this is not our original position. That is position of this body, and the body is temporary. And we are not the body, we are the soul. So right now we are thinking we are the body. That's why we have this thought process. So we have to clean ourselves. We have to cure ourselves. The process that treats this disease is called Bhagavad Dharma or Sanatan Dharma, real religion. This is described in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, anyone who, because of his background of pious activities in previous lives, is anxious to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, immediately realizes the presence of the Supreme Lord within his heart and fulfills the mission of his life. So to cure the disease, we need to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada used to say, if we regularly, sincerely hear Srimad Bhagavatam, we'll find Krishna in the pages of Bhagavatam. And that's the mission of our life. Mission of our life. You can see. Any questions or comments? Anything to add or share? If no, then we can stop here for today. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Shla Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.